So, I can just get my hands on it. Do something with the stick. What you do a routine with the stick? You give him anything.
Well, that was a pretty good cast, wasn't it, Bob? I think we're on to something this time. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Margaret. Try to swim in. Send in those big cats. Send in the smaller ones.
Well, I'm sitting here with Jonathan Winters, my old bud, and we've got a pretty little thing for you, John. We're sure sorry at the festival you weren't able to come and join us there, but I know you got all kinds of things you're dealing with. I've known you a long time, loved you a long time, so I came out here, and this is from all of us in Sedona from the festival. We're so proud of you, and I'm going to read it to you. I still haven't figured out why people do that, but anyway. Sedona International Film Festival 2011 Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Jonathan Winters, performer, comedian, artist, author. I think they forgot raconteur. That ought to be on there too.
At least.
In recognition of your outstanding career on stage and screen, for your laughter and your heart, and for bringing joy and smiles to the world. Thank you for sharing your passion with us and enriching our lives with your humor and your talent. John?
Well, thank you. I think to read it twice might be a bit much. I'm just going to say to a wonderful human being who has a few mental problems, otherwise he wouldn't have said just what he said. Okay? You have to forgive him.
Take pity on me, John.
And I kid a lot, you know. I have to, you know. I kid myself to think that I've got an award with this kind of performer, comedian, artist, and author. Boy, I just settle for one of those. That's pretty much itself, to be just a comedian. But I thank you. Thank you so much. It means more to me than you realize it. And I tell you, 2011, that I've come this far. I didn't think I'd get this far, so everything on here means a lot. Thank you. The festival, I would have jumped up and down to have gone. Medically, I'm not a crybaby. I'm not a guy to put you on or kid you or cop out, all these words. I've had a lot of medical problems. It goes with the territory. I am 85 and I'm in overtime. People say, "Oh no, you're not. You'd be surprised. You're just as sharp as ever." The most interesting thing, for what it's worth, and I'm saying this to the festival and hoping in some way you'll understand, that my big fight in this world of television and movies was an interesting fight, and I'm not one to complain or again carry a chip on my shoulder or say, why didn't I make it here, or why didn't I make it there? I felt I made a mark. I could have made a bigger mark. A lot of it was my fault because I had some limitations I didn't bargain for. I thought I knew all my limitations. I was fooled. I fell down a couple of times, but I got up. The most important thing that was said to me after I left Ohio, I got into New York and played around the country and came out here to California, and I read scripts that a lot of the letters F-U-C-K, which I'm sure we all know by this time, and I said, I can't do that. It's just not me. And it always came back, are you reborn? And I said, no, I got it the first time. You don't have to dip me in the river or run down the aisle. I'm just a guy that I know you can be funny without being filthy.
Well, here we are again. Hey, Dingsy, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Well, what's your pleasure?
Well, if I told you that, we'd be off the air.
You can be risque, blue, naughty, dirty. It's another thing to be filthy. The guys that were pretty crude and pretty wild language, like Lenny Bruce, a friend of mine, but a rebel. Let me add that. Richard Pryor, very bright, and again got pretty far out with his language, but was a true rebel. That's important. Important to me, because I'm a rebel. So is Robin Williams a rebel.
Jonathan Winters is the reason I became a comedian. I remember watching him with my father. And when he was on the Jack Paar show, Jonathan was playing a great white hunter, and Jack asked him, he said, "What do you hunt?" And Jonathan said, "I hunt squirrels." And Jack said, "How do you do that?" He said, "I aim for their little nuts." Once upon a time, I called Jonathan my mentor, and he immediately corrected me. He said, "Please," he told me, "I prefer idol." Jonathan Winters is my idol. He is a true pioneer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the honor of a lifetime to stand here and present the TV Land Pioneer Award to the man without whom I probably wouldn't be standing here, myself. The many, the one, Jonathan Winters.
There are rebels out there, and we're doing our thing. But I just know when Groucho said to me, Groucho Marx, "I like you, kid, because you're clean and you tell the truth." That's a role model. And Stanley Kramer, who gave me my big break in Mad World, said, "You're one of the brightest guys I've ever, directed."
Now, fellas, you keep this up, and I'm going to get sore. I mean it.
And it's always meant so much to me, because there are so many other people that said, "Take a walk, Jack. That material sucks. It doesn't cut it with us. Talk about our boobs and talk about this, or take a walk." What do you mean you're going to be a ball player? Are we talking about Marcel Marceau? No, we're talking about a guy called Baby. I don't come out in uniform. I do the gesture. Oh, please. So there was a lot of fighting going on verbally. And I remember I first got to New York. I auditioned for Ed Sullivan show, and Mr. Luddy, who's gone now, Mark Luddy, said, I stood up there. I thought there'd be a room full of people, maybe 6 or 8 at least, and it was just Mr. Luddy, and he said, "What do you do, kid?" And I said, "Oh, comedy. Let's do it." So I did about no more than 5 minutes, and he said, "Kid, here, I don't think Mr. Sullivan would understand you." And I said, "You know something, Mr. Luddy? I don't think you understood me." "Well, you may be a little too smart for the room," I said, "especially this one." So, you can be labeled a smart ass. I'm not that. But I've had to fight for what I believe in. And a lot of times I thought, like a million other performers, musicians, and actors and actresses, to pack it in, to give it up and go home. But I tell you, my wife, who's gone now 2 years, we were married 60 years. But I'll never forget her for a lot of reasons. But the biggest reason of all, she believed in me.
What was it like when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, well, I was partially electrocuted by a Lionel train. I was at fault. I'm not blaming Lionel. I'm sure some guy from Lionel is sitting up. "What did he say about our train coming?" No, it was my fault. I had come in from a very snowy evening. I was petting the dog the wrong way to begin with, and...
If you're an actor, actress, a singer, a musician, and you want to do something about it, Forget stardom. Put that aside. I put that aside. I'm still putting it aside. But the real stars are in the sky. Come on. Stars on the sidewalk are great, but the ones up there. At any rate, a little corny, but true. Put stardom aside and success. Just go out and do it. It's like painting. Don't talk about it. It's like writing. Put it down. I think the one thing that's helped me, as I've said for the most part, I've always known my limitations. I can't sing. I thought I could. Some people said, try it, and I said, I've had people boo me in the shower. That's the worst. Good luck to you people there in Sedona. I know it'll be a great success, and I've just had these physical problems which hit me pretty hard. Otherwise, I'd be there, seriously, and maybe next year things can turn around. Arthritis, it's just knocked the hell out of me, but it does a lot of people my age. My hands are pretty good. You know, I can tell you ladies, be careful, you know, it grab you by the shoulders. But at any rate, I'd give anything to have been there because it's a great festival, and they're great people, and by and large, it's a beautiful country, and but good luck to you people. Thank you.